What's up? Got one of these. Yep, SIXLEAF. Hey, let's get it out of this box. Let's get it checked in so we can check it out. Let's see what's going on in here. Got a couple of these. Got them backed up, actually. I made a commitment to myself. Whew. Yeah, I'm sure that many on the channel are going, okay, yeah, I've been watching these. But I made a commitment to kind of take a run at these SIXLEAFs, and see what they're about. You know, you can't judge one knife, or, you know what I mean? You got to give them a fair shake, and that means more than one knife. And I have so many Tucson knives. Like, I made a commitment a while back. Hey, I'm going to collect those. And so I'm kind of looking at these SIXLEAFs. Like, what's the criteria? Well, it helps that they're affordable for a collector like me. I mean, I'm sure there's guys out there that have every Spyderco knife that's ever been made, or every zero tolerance knife that's ever been made, or every Chavez knife that's ever come out, or, you know. That's not me. Man, my budget doesn't allow that. So if I really want to collect a brand, being affordable is a big part of it. Well, with the Tucson knives, being affordable, having a variety of models and blade types and steels, and, you know, now granted, lately they've kind of been on a D2 run. But I think we're all aware that there's been some steel issues and getting supplies, but I think that's changing and different steels are coming out. But I'm not a D2 hater. So I have a lot of knives in D2 that I really, really like, and I use them a lot. Now, I have a lot in my Tucson collection that they go in the case, and I don't use them much. So use isn't necessarily criteria when you're collecting a brand or a manufacturer. Sometimes you just, it's a new model, so you want to add it to the collection. Well, being affordable is a big criteria for me. Well, these SIXLEAFs kind of fall in there. There's a few others that I'm chasing right now as well, but these SIXLEAFs have quite a few models and quite a few new models coming very affordably. So I made a commitment. I'm kind of running after them. So anyways, I've got this one. I've got maybe 3 or 4 or 5 or 6 more that I need to get to. But let's do this one today. So this is, let me be sure that I'm saying this right. This is the SIXLEAF SL-22 in purple. So it's MICARTA, and it's got TC4 titanium inserts and a TC4 titanium pocket clip that have been anodized purple. All right, let's get in it. Okay. Oh, I'm reaching for a lock. It's a button lock. All right, how's that fuller? Nice. And the thumb. Yep. Enough detent there that once I throw it, it's going to go. Yeah. It's not a lot, but there's enough there. How about that backspacer? Yeah, I can definitely fail that, but that's not uncommon on a button lock. Let's check that lockup. Yeah, solid as a rock. Yeah, there's no side-to-side back and forth play there, or when it's locked up. Very solid. And the blade just free. Yep. So clearly I can open it with the button. It's a little bouncy on the bottom. That's just timing, I guess. And I did notice that when it's closed, the button is basically flush with the scale when it's closed, and then when it's open, it pops up. makes it more accessible. Yeah. It's got some jimping on top. I guess not really doing much for a grip, but we'll get to that. And I'll tell you, when I saw this one, it looked unrefined, like some other SIXLEAFs that I'm picking up. Looks really unrefined in the images. And it sort of is, but it's not near as bad in person as it looks in the pictures. Like me looking at this now and holding it, I'm not disappointed by the fit and finish of this at all. And of course, you got to keep in mind what you're paying for these. You know, if I paid $250 for this, I might have a different opinion. But I do like the fact that the back spacers on these SIXLEAFs are coming with the exact same material. It's not some funky off material that they said, hey, it's cheaper and easier to just mill that and put that in there. They actually are using the MICARTA material for the back spacer. So that's pretty cool. Hey, let's get in it. Let's see what's going on inside there. I'm sure it's just a standard button lock, but let's prove it to ourselves. Yeah, so there was a little bit of tension on that screw. Not a lot. I'm actually on the wrong side, but that's okay. I think I'll come over here. These are all going to be T6s now. Oh, all right. Well, good thing I was watching that, because that thing shot out of there, and that's why I should be doing this from the other side. With that spring facing down like that, like I started out, and I flipped it over like a dummy. Yeah, so you always kind of want to face that button down and remove this side on a button lock, just for that reason. Like, it would be great if I planned that so I could show you, but man, I ain't that smart. I'm stupid. Ask anybody. Especially those that know me. Well, is that going to come apart now? I think it will. Let's see. I mean, I don't see anything else that's holding that together unless this is threaded, and it's not. And what about this one? That one felt threaded for some reason. Yeah, I think that was holding on. That was going through right there. Maybe, I don't know. Maybe it was catching. You know what? It was threaded into that right there. That one screw. Okay. Do I need to pull them liners? I mean, it's void of oil, so I don't think I'm gonna. Yeah, there's that spacer right there. Yeah, let's just wipe it down and we'll lube it, because to be honest, there's no oil in here. It's completely dry. So I might stretch that spring just a hair to increase that detent pressure that it's creating. Those bearings cleaned up nice. Okay. I mean, there's nothing fancy going on in here. Standard button lock stuff. There wasn't any stick or anything of that nature going on, so I'm not going to mess with that. But I might create stick here, because I'm going to stretch that spring. Let's get a reference point. So okay, right there. I'm just going to go a little bit beyond that. Add just a hair of length to that. Yeah, I added, I don't know, 32nd of an inch or something to it. We'll see what it does. Hopefully I don't have to take it apart and fix it. But it was, listen, you know, it was a little weak. So I'm not frilly like that. I'll just change it. I'd rather have it a little strong than weak. And I'm not scared, man. We'll just get after it and do it. All right, I think we're all cleaned up. Let's put it back together. So the button is going to go down there. And there's my stop pin. Okay. I probably should have put this in. It doesn't look to be captured. I don't think it is. Speaking of that, I'm gonna have some other parts that gotta go in here too. So that one's actually attached to the clip, but there was another. This spacer was, no, that's the clip. It was this one. Yeah, let's put a screw in that to hold that in from that side. I believe it's gonna be that. Yeah, like so. Mucho bettero. Okay. Yeah, I'm gonna put that down. Shiny side down. Blade's got that stonewash coating on it, and those bearings are running on it, trying to cut in. We have to put all this together at once, I believe. Get that button down in there. There we go. Right where we need it. Back spacer. Man, did I make that look easy just now? I shouldn't even like play around and say stuff like that, because you know what happens the minute you do that? Like, things get really complicated really quickly. And not because you want them to be, but because you smart it off, right? Oh, T6. Something tells me that that goes here. All right, we'll just tighten up some screws now and we're good. Make sure these pocket clip screws don't need attention. That front one did. What about these little inserts? Yeah, that one was kind of loose. That one too. They weren't tight. Yep. Yep. All right, let's get back to this pivot. Let's check blade play. Solid as a rock. The little button stick there now, though. Just the tiniest little bit. I like it. I'm going to put this screwdriver up and I'm going to check that one more time for play. Yeah, that's solid. Solid. I'm going to put just a drop of oil in there on that action. Just the tiniest little bit. Right there. Not the whole thing, but just right where that initial contact is. For that right there. It's not for the button, but for that drop close. Yeah, it's dropped shut. A little bit of detent. Not sure why, but I'm double clutching. Let me look at that for some reason. So as I release that, it's because you have to depress that button all the way to there. There's no accidental lock release on this. You got to press that button. And so what I'm doing is just kind of pressing it, and it's not enough, and it's causing me right there. So I'm pressing that, but it's not released. You have to completely press that in, which is good because that should mean that I shouldn't have any issues about that button failing. And I don't know where that came from, but recently, like there's comments on my channel, there's comments kind of everywhere about how button locks are weak locks. I've never known that. Like it was kind of news to me. And so now I tap them all. Even ones that I own that I've never had a problem with. I'm like, I wonder if that one's any good. Well, I haven't found one that's not good, by the way. I'm tapping an awful lot of these button locks, and I like button locks, so I have several. Look, blade centered. The action's running really nice, whether it's Spidey flick, thumb flick, or just use the button. And the back flipper. And I like this back flipper. It's got jimping on the top. It's not very aggressive, to be honest. It feels pretty smooth right there. But it's out there just enough. It's subdued, but it's out there just enough that it works really good. I like it. I like that. But yeah, that having to press that button is causing me to double clutch. Yeah, for sure it is. I wonder if I can throw that out. Yep. Yeah, it kind of had me wondering because that button's completely depressed now. So that's in the prepared to open mode, and you could throw it out. Yep. I don't know if that bothers me. I do want to check it for detent lash here. Yeah, it's solid. It's actually got a breakaway point right there. Should suck it in pretty good. Yeah. Hey, it's not the greatest, but it most definitely is not the worst. So I like the action. Let's talk about the ergos. So pretty confident getting my finger locked behind there. Like again, this jimping is not very aggressive. It's not a super bite back there, but it is enough of a lockup that I'm going to say that this is leaning towards confident. It might be just on the side of less than confident, definitely not overconfident, but it's a pretty good grip. And part of it is because this here, the back half of my hand is able to lock in pretty good back here. It's locking into that cut. So the front half doesn't feel as confident, but this back here, these 2.5 fingers coming forward to here feel pretty good. That's pretty good grip right there. Yeah, no complaints. Not that this is a very stabby knife, because it is not. It's more of a work knife, I think. To be honest, if I was to gift this, that's what it would be. It'd be like, hey, here's a great little work knife. Use it. Wear it out. Yeah, let's check that pocket clip. Little concerned before we even get going. Pretty narrow channel right there. Like my eyes pick up all these things. It's got pretty decent spring tension, but let's see what's going on. I think it's going to struggle with the thick pants. Yeah, so it's not going to go all the way in. It's bound up because of how narrow that is on the thick pants. So it's not going to run the thick pants. But that's not a fail for me because not everybody wears these big old thick pants like this. Let's see how it does here on the thinner pants. So it runs completely from the bottom to the top of the clip where it's supposed to. It's not a very deep carry. Like there's a fair amount sticking out of there. But it's kind of attractive what's sticking out. You got a little bit of the purple. You got the purple pocket clip and then the brown with it. It's not bad. Stonewashed blade in the background. Kind of nice. Definitely good tension there. Like it's going to hold wherever you put it. Me personally, where I would carry this knife is right back here on the back pocket. I would go right to this spot, bam. That's where that would go for me. And that carries well there. Yeah, no worries. One hand in and out. So the pocket clip's good. Let's check safety. Can I catch that tip? I mean, it's out there at the end, but just the way that that's been designed and the angle of that, there's no way to get that tip. What about catching the blade in the back? Yeah, so no blade in the back. It's good to go. So, I mean, I'm going to pass the pocket clip because not everybody's got big fat pants like mine. So the pocket clip's good, but just be aware if you got thick pants that you wear, like, I don't know, industrial overhauls or whatever, that clip might not work. You might have to, like, you may be able to create space by bending that out. But if you wear super thick pants, this may not work. Jean size pants, this is going to work just fine. Good back spacer, no blade contact on the tip. Yeah, pretty nice. How sharp is it? Yeah, it's got one little bump in there I can feel. Nothing that a strop wouldn't help. I mean, I got just a second. Let's run it. I never strop on camera. It's almost like a cheat, right? Because I just stop the camera and then I do this and then I come back and I go, oh, miraculously, look how sharp that knife is. So this is all I'm doing. Like, what am I now, about 3 passes? I probably could smear a little of my goop on here. That would help. But I'm going to call that good. Let's see if did I help it or hurt it? I mean, yeah, so now I got to fix that. Dang it. Doing stuff on camera and look at where I got. I mean, I think I over sharpened it, but let's see if I can take some off. Anybody's buying that, you need help, man. Okay, so all I did was I brought this to bear and I put some pressure on this side. I did 2 strokes each, and then I did this side 2 strokes each. On the finer side, it's got some green compound on it. So let's see what we got. That's all I did. I didn't do no more, I didn't do no less. So, there. I mean, it's just a burr. You know, it's not that the blade was sharpened bad or that there's something wrong with the steel. No issues whatsoever. It just had a burr on it. And so, if you don't have a strop, this one is listed down below. It's an Amazon strop. It's nothing fancy about it. And it came with... Okay. It came with these two right here. A white and a green. So I put the white on the soft side here, and this is all I do to apply it. The white goes on this side, like so. Good to go. And then the green compound goes on this side. And it's just like a crayon. Yep. And that's probably why I had to go back on that one. But I have had this for a long time, and you can see I barely used any of this, and I use this strop a lot. So it doesn't take much, and this will last. Who knows how long that lasts, man? I don't know. It's going to last a long time. But that's probably why it didn't strop that up immediately, and it caused me to put some pressure to it. But that's okay. So knife's definitely sharp. If you don't have a strop, get you one. It's easy to do. It's not hard. You just try to do the best you can to get that angle so that the blade, the bevel of the blade is flush. And once you have that, pay attention to where your knife is on the back in relationship to the strop so that you can go this way and then match that coming back. And then just try to be consistent. Take some light passes both ways. And then on this one, it's a little finer adjustment. Knock a burr off, and you'll be good to go. Pretty easy. Not hard to do. I've seen some videos that talk about the complications of stropping and how to do it and how not to do it. And I don't know. I leave those videos just kind of going, I don't find it to be that complicated. You know, I just take your time and take a few passes and try to maintain angles. So anyways, SIXLEAF SL-22. It is available at SIXLEAF eBay auctions. And I'll make sure that that link is tagged down below. That's where I bought this, is an eBay auction for the SIXLEAF seller. There's two of them, so you can check them both, but they both kind of sell the exact same stuff. And I paid $30. Come on. Look at that. I didn't even mention it. It's 154 cm steel. And I believe that that's been tested and verified. Now, I haven't, so, you know, don't hold me accountable to it, but I believe it to be 154 cm. So 154 cm, MICARTA, titanium inserts, titanium pocket clip, button lock, smooth as could be, great action, $30. I mean, if that's not a buy, I don't know what is. But I'll link it down below. It's definitely in those eBay auctions for the two SIXLEAF sellers. They're selling them all the time. So keep your eyes peeled. If this helps you in any way, I'm glad it did. Appreciate you watching.